Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I graduated high school in 1991. First got on the internet in 1992. I've shared that statistic with you before. I got online at a time where the web wasn't there, and the internet was there. At the University of Northern Iowa, at least, where I was exposed for the first time to the internet. And I wrote a series of articles for the Northern Iowan, which is still the newspaper for the university. And I don't know, I can't remember if it's run by students. I think students in conjunction with faculty. We used to call it the Northern Idiot. Didn't always agree with the things that were written in it, but I was still able to write a few articles about the internet, pre-web, you know. And I wrote a few articles for another local independent paper, although I don't know if that's still around. It was kind of created to be somewhat of a competition to the Northern Iowan, but I can't even remember its name. I remember writing a lot there. I can't even remember if I got paid. I think I did, but it was like pennies on the dollar. Obviously, I did not get fame and fortune. That remains elusive. Now, the reason why I bring all this up is, number one, to give you further insight as to the character that I've turned into. But I've also got an email here from Chris Izat, and he writes in with a question pertaining to his college newspaper. He's asking, I'm assuming it's a he, is asking how to get this newspaper online. He says, here's where the problems come. They need something simple to update with some sort of an interface. The reason for this is they're not always going to have a tech guy around, nor do I want everything that goes online to come through me. I really think that starting their own domain with their own hosting would be too much, and the free WordPress they're not happy with because of the lack of design features. They'd also like to stay on a small budget while doing this, so that's another constraint. If you have any ideas, links, or other thoughts, please let me know. Well, here's the problem. You say you don't think hosting's an option, they don't want to spend any money, and they're not happy with the free WordPress. Dude, could you tie my hands anymore? Although I will agree, the set of templates that's available on WordPress.com is rather paltry, not much flexibility. So you may want to spend just a little bit of money and find a template out there. If you still like WordPress, you just didn't like the templates that you were kind of forced to use, you could find a template and then host your own, or I'm just hoping that you've got some kind of campus IT department, some kind of facility. It could be hosted there, right? It's just a guess. If not, my next suggestion would be, and I don't know how small this small college is, but my next suggestion would be to approach a local business that is possibly in the business of web hosting, and then work out some kind of arrangement where they get free advertising or something like that in exchange for hosting WordPress if you decide to use that. If they liked the administrative interface of WordPress, I know there are plenty of newspaper-like themes, and certainly a college newspaper could be run in the structure of WordPress. Each particular category could be a different section. You could have subcategories, so you could have subsections. You could have a multitude of authors. You could have a multitude of editors. You could have a multitude of administrators. It could very well work, so long as you find the right template. So go searching the web for a good template that you believe is a good template, or possibly have the school administrators go to a website that they like and then see if they say, oh, I like this because it looks this way. Then see if you can find a template that matches that, because you could likely get that done. Or you could possibly grab one of the design students and say, here, design a WordPress theme and you'll get college credit. I'm saying that there are options you can use. Even if it could cost you money, you can offset those costs either through advertising, as college newspapers certainly do. I know they do. Or specifically through working with local businesses or the minds that you have currently going to that college. I can't imagine it's that small that you wouldn't have anybody with a passion or a certain amount of experience with this kind of stuff. You're right to not want the newspaper to go through you, because when you're gone, then it's just going to be this albatross hanging around your neck, and you're just like, I don't want to deal with this. It's going to happen. So the sooner you can get them into a system that will work for them and grow with them and work well within the community, not just of students and faculty, but specifically within the community itself of wherever that college happens to be located, I think the happier you're going to be. I know that that would just be at one level a blog, and unfortunately, there's not that many social features in WordPress. I know people always bring up blogging as a component of social media, but it's just one component. There's really no profile management. Certainly not like Facebook. It's certainly not like MySpace. If you're looking for more of that type of environment, while you'll still be somewhat limited on the themes that will be available to you, when I wanted to put together a community of geeks at geeks.pirillo.com, I ended up turning to Ning, N-I-N-G. It's basically free communities online. I paid for a few options, including the ability to run ads, and including the ability to have my own domain, use my own domain, and that's why I went with geeks.pirillo.com. I went with that because it had not just blogging features, not just groups features, forums, profiles. People could upload videos, photos. I mean, it was a rich, rich, rich experience. And if you wanted to, they could host it. You could get your own domain and apply it to it. It'll cost you a little bit, but nothing. Pennies on the dollar, I'm sure, as far as an annual budget for any kind of college is concerned. It's worth a shot. I've been having a good time with geeks.pirillo.com. I know other people have as well. The same platform could be used. You could turn features on or off, on a whim or whatever you decide to do. It's certainly going to offer you a lot more than just a simple blog might offer. Try it, because it isn't going to cost you anything to try. And, if you like it, great. I'm happy to have made the recommendation. If you don't like it, well, keep looking. There's not much I can do given the parameters that you laid out for me. I'm only so good with the internet. I don't know everything that's out there, but I certainly would personally push you towards more open source options rather than closed or proprietary options, because you wouldn't want to paint yourself into a corner, which is often what happens with proprietary systems. Including CMSs or content management systems through which your college newspaper may be printed through, or digitally printed through. I don't know. However you want to do it. My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Maybe someone else out there has a recommendation to make, in relation to a college newspaper. Let me know, or let the rest of the community know. I mentioned our community at geeks.pirillo.com, and I put that together because we have all these people sitting in the chat room. And see, they're always asking and talking about technology. Always. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world outside their little walls. They're always talking tech. Always. It's a given. It's just what we do around here. Don't know how it happened. I think it's because I talk tech, so they talk tech. And this live video is always trained in, well, not always, but for the most part, it's always on. Unless, of course, my internet goes down, which seldom happens, or if I happen to be on the road. But even when I am on the road and I'm away from the desk, this live video camera is still going out over to the internet, so you can watch it. You can watch me. You can watch me doing nothing. You can watch nothing happening except for this chat room, which has been sewn into the video, so it's a complete experience. Always different, always dynamic, always on. So what are you waiting for? We're waiting for you. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.